So let's start today's journey with a question. Do you know what is the primary religion of Peru? If you said Christianity, then you are absolutely right. But do you know that Christianity came here only 500 years ago along with the Spanish people? What was before that? Now, at this point, archaeology becomes really fascinating. And particularly if you are from India, you know that there are a few sun temples in India. But could you imagine that in a land that is 18,000 kilometers away from India, there was a sun temple at some point of time? If you stay with me throughout this video, I will show you one such sun temple that once existed. And along with that, I will tell you a few fascinating stories that will definitely shock you. Currently, we are in Barranco and we are moving south of Lima. Today, we have to go around 40 kilometers south to reach a site which is called Pacha Kamaq. And before we proceed, if you have not seen my video which is about Barranco, please go and check that video which is really interesting. Now, if you are sitting with a laptop, just open Google Earth and search for Pachacamac Sanctuary. There will be a few pop-up options. From that, choose for Site Museum and Archaeological Sanctuary of Pachacamac. Here, what you will see that there is a place along the coast of Pacific Ocean that is left as it is, while the surrounding there are lots of houses. Now, zoom in. What you can see is that there are a few specific structures in that place. Now, this place was not a ordinary place. Once upon a time, this particular site was a spiritual and religious center. Pachacamac in Quechua means earth maker, or let's say creator of the world. Now you might be wondering what exactly is Quechua. So let me say that before the Spanish people came to Peru, this was the language that was spoken by the people of Peru. But now this language is mainly spoken in the highlands. This site was occupied since 200 AD and flourished till the Spanish came. This site has 16 pyramids, a sun temple, a moon temple, a Pachacamac temple, and a cemetery. So today we will visit a few of those. It covers a huge area, nearly 600 hectares. So you have to take a vehicle, move along this path, get down in between and see the sights. While sitting in a vehicle, the first thought that came to my mind was how the people used to travel at that time. How difficult it would have been to move one place to another place. After traveling for some time, we reached our first site. Now, if you stand at this place and look in the south direction, what do you see is a place like this. What you are seeing in front of you is a pyramid. This pyramid was built during 900 to 1470 AD. Let me again clarify that the Pachacamac site was never a residential site. It was mainly used for administration or for religious practices. So this pyramid was either used as an administrative building or used as a palace. जो पिरामिड है ये काफ़ी यंग है बट ये भी काफ़ी ह्यूज है, बट ये डिफरेंट है इजिप्शियन पिरामिड से। पेरू में भी जितना पिरामिड बना है सब फ्लैट टॉप्ड है, कोनिकल नहीं है इजिप्ट जैसा, बट साइज में काफ़ी ह्यूज है। If you move a bit ahead, what you can see is a road. This road connected throughout the complex. It is 460 meters long and 3 to 4 meters wide. It divided the complex into 4 parts. Interestingly, some people say that it was not only used to move within the city, rather it was part of a road that went till Cusco. So, this was one of the original and ancient Inca trails. Now look at the walls. Can you see what are they made of? Do you remember how they are different from the site we saw in Caral? In Caral, the pyramids were made of stones, but here the walls are made of bricks. Here the people learned to make bricks and they used whatever the material they got from the beach, mainly the sand and the marine shells, to make these bricks. So you can see that the walls are getting damaged, and the walls that you are seeing in perfect conditions are not the walls made by the ancient people. Those are renovated later.
Shell, no? That also you have here the shells. You can see.
Yes.
Entonces se puede ver las conchitas marinas que están también parte del material, que es lo que abunda aquí porque el mar está, ¿no?
ये और ईंट है वो लोग जो बनाए हैं, बेसिकली ये जो ईंट है ये समंदर का रेत, इसमें सेल्स वगैरह भी है, वो सब मिला के बनाए हैं। Now it's time to move ahead. Can you see the houses of the people those are living close by? Now can you see the ancient walls? So imagine there is a possibility that there are some sites below those houses. Yeah, it is true. There is a possibility. But currently the government is utilizing its resources to dig and renovate the sites that are present in the open. You will be surprised to know that only 30% has been excavated and the remaining 70% lies as it is. So there is a huge possibility that there are lots of treasures and a huge quantity of knowledge that lies below this land. Now if you stand here and look in the northeast direction, what you see is a remnant of a palace. So this was the palace of a Inca governor whose name was Taurichumpe.
Taurichumpi Palace, ¿no? Ese es los restos del palacio de Taurichumpi, las Curaca Inca, ¿no? That Pizarro are right here. Mountain that you have here that is still totally covered because it's still buried. But this is about the first culture, Lima society. So that way it's called the old temple. This is the old temple. Also, here on the right, they are restoring this kind of central hall or central sala that you have here on the right.
Now at this place you can see the painted temple, the cemetery and the old temple. The old temple is basically the oldest building in this complex. It was built by the Lima culture people who were the first to occupy this place. Another interesting thing within the complex is the cemetery. People were really surprised when archaeologists found burials of 73 people dating back to thousands of years ago. So, this cemetery was particularly used when the Wari people occupied the site. The buried people were both male and female and had some kind of mask on their face. This mask was carved either from wood or from ceramic. This particular mask is known as a false head. Next, we can see the painted temple. It is called painted temple because people have found multiple colorful figures on its walls. It was particularly built by the Wari people. The most interesting thing about this site is that archaeologists have found a Pachacamac statue within this place, and that statue has been radiocarbon dated to be between 760 and 876 AD. सो हम अभी सन टेम्पल क्लाइम करने जा रहे हैं। लंबा रास्ता है बट लकीली अल्टीट्यूड उतना नहीं है तो जा पा रहे हैं। दिस इज़ द सन टेम्पल। At least you can say once upon a time it was the Sun Temple. It was built between 1470 and 1533 by the Inca culture. So you can imagine that this is one of the youngest structures in the complex. Here another thing to think about a bit, that how people evolved in terms of worshipping gods. Because before Inca, people believed more in the Pachacamac, that means the earth god. But the Inca people lived more in the sun god and built their temples according to it. Standing on the Sun Temple, if you look in the west, you can see a beautiful view of the Pacific. Next, we went to the Moon Temple. Some people say this particular site was used to worship the moon goddess called Mamakuya. But some people say it was a akawasi where some specific women were staying and they were worshipping the sun god. But whatever it may be, the structure you are seeing is not the original one. It has been renovated multiple times. It was time to return to Lima. My head was heavy with knowledge. I need some time to process the information. Because right now I am not in the present. I am trying to think what exactly a guy who was standing at my place thousands of years ago was thinking. Okay guys, I will bid you bye now. Let's meet in the next video. Stay tuned for such interesting content. I hope you liked it.